NAFCOC commemorating its 60th anniversary. This is quite the milestone, especially when you look at how the face of the economy, business, township economy, we speak about that right now, talking about what shape does it take. A lot of, people in the townships are saying there can be no progress without us, but you think of some of the big names that would, when you think about township economy, you think about the late Dr. Richard Maponya, you think about the late Dr. Semutsuwenyane. There's quite a lot to talk about as far as this is concerned. So let's have these reflections now. 60 years on, they are going to be commemorating. There are events that are being planned. There's a big one at the Durban ICC, but I'm not going to give you all the details. Dr. Gilbert Mosena, the National African Federated Chamber of Commerce President, is with us in studio to talk about this and more. Good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. 60 years, what a feat. Let's talk about the event and what's in store for those who are going to be watching to see how you're celebrating this huge milestone.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting us. We are very excited to be here, talking to our people, the whole South Africa, the continent, about the most exciting event, in our lifetime, the 60th birthday, celebration of this giant organization, the second biggest after the ruling party, of course, the most, oldest in the country. And biggest for that matter. So all roads will be leading to KZN in Durban from the 4th to the 6th, from the 1st to the 4th of April. So we are making an invitation, open invitation to many of our members, our associates, the former members of NAFCOC. We just want to make sure that this celebration, as we honor our giants, people like Dr. Richard Maponya, Dr. Semutsuwenyane, everybody's there, so that we can together reflect on what actually have been the achievement.
And you speak about reflections. Tomorrow marks Human Rights Day in South Africa, and we are at a time where you're seeing, especially calls for transformation, especially when it comes to the economy and how, how far the road that has been traveled in the 30 years. Some saying that yes, some work has been done, but there still needs to be a bit more work that needs to be done as far as pushing through the doors. What becomes your reflections when it comes to the transformation conversation?
Let me also say that as NAFCOC, we have already taken a position in so far as the human rights are concerned, but more in particular, the rights of business people, the rights of African, businessmen and women. We took a resolution that we should actually establish a litigation fund, because we have realized that quite a number of our people's rights are being, interfered with. Nobody is fighting for them. We as NAFCOC, we are here to fight for our rights. And
what are their reflections, especially when they think about, let's say they're listening to the budget speech that we just heard, and there's a proposal now of increasing the VAT. These are the businesses that would still be trying to weather the storm that was COVID-19. These are the businesses that are still trying to weather the storm that is the rising cost of living. And now there's this possibility.
Yeah, of course, we listened very carefully. We studied very carefully the budget. Well, in as much as we agree with the government or the Minister of Finance, but we had a bit of a concern around the increase in the VAT, because we believe that the small business will be the ultimate, sufferers and take, the responsibility to part with some of their money. The cost obviously will be transferred to the small business. So we are saying to government, maybe that was not the right thing to do. I mean, the government should have, targeted the big corporates, because that's where a lot of illicit, financial outflow out of the country is going. But however, we will continue to educate our people on how to best manage this process.
And as you speak about these small businesses, there's also still the issue of red tape. There's also still the issue of, some of them saying that they're not even being paid in time, and this impacts the work that they do as well. And then coupled with that, you're hearing of the township economy. Do they even know what that means?
Well, fortunately, as you know, we among some of our achievement is the lobbying for the establishment of the Ministry of Small Business. And I must say that we are working very, very well with our Minister, Stella Ndabeni. So we have addressed quite a number of those aspects. How do we approach the township economy? How do we revitalize the rural economy? And to an extent that we are even, together with the department in terms of searching the ways and means of trying to secure funding for the small business.
And when you then speak about, small businesses, I wonder, and I'm keen to hear from you as to what do some of your members say, especially when they think about the foreign-owned spaza shops that we've seen in the country, and also at the same time now there's a registration process that is currently underway. How are your members watching all of these developments over time?
Of course, we have been very much concerned. I mean, we are the first people to express a concern about government's lack of, regulating this environment. I mean, we know that the issue of informal sector or small business in almost all countries of the world is protected, is the domain of the local or indigenous people. But in our country, unfortunately, we had so many people coming into South Africa. We are not saying people should not come, but people should come the right way. And if they come as investors, obviously there are some regulation about that. But people who simply come illegally and establish this spaza shop all over, we are very much worried about that. And
do you think this process that's been started now to register will help with that?
We don't think it's a good solution for the problem, because governments sometimes, have a tendency of doing things unilaterally. But should government have consulted us as NAFCOC, I'm sure we're going to find a solution.
When you are looking at the next 60 years, for you, what becomes the priority areas that you want to be able to ensure that you're seeing more work, more transformation as you continue to push for your members?
As you know, look, NAFCOC at one stage has established the African Bank. Because we believe that there is really no way in which we can, fully recognize our democracy as long as it leaves behind the economic emancipation of our people. That's why now we are actually advocating very seriously for the establishment of a dedicated SME fund. And we believe that through that fund, we should be able to assist a number of our small businesses. And secondly, we are focusing on the prioritization on youth and women empowerment, because we believe that the future of our country really is in the hands of the young people. So we need to be assisting their development. We need to be giving more skills. Hence, NAFCOC has gone to an extent of establishing a center, a training center, whereby we actually train people on how to run their businesses, how to look for market, how to determine their product, and so on and so on.
That's quite interesting. Thank you so much for stopping by, and all the best for your 60th celebrations, as you're now marking quite the milestone, one would say. Thank you so much, Gilbert Mosena, for speaking to us.
Thanks a lot. But at the same time, we are also looking at the digital economy, because we want to make sure that our people know how to do things in a very competitive environment. Thank you so much.
I might just come through because I'm still trying to find my way around digital as well. But thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you for coming through. I appreciate your time. That is Gilbert Mosena, the National African Federated Chamber of Commerce President.